Good morning, friends and family, YouTube worldwide. Welcome back to my channel. First and foremost, I want to give thanks to the Most High for allowing me to give you this content. Friends and family, today is Good Friday. Today is the best day of the work week. Today is payday. Today is week 31 of the 100 Savings Challenge, Roth IRA Savings Challenge. All right, week 31. Friends and family, I am not a financial advisor. I am just sharing what works for me. Here, we manage our money wisely. Here, we create a budget. Here, we save first and spend later. Here, we set financial goals. Here, we invest early. Here, we avoid debt. To summarize what I just said, here we earn, save, and invest for the long haul. Friends and family, don't forget to pay yourself first. Don't forget to pay yourself a bare minimum of 25%. Now, if you can't do 25%, you could start with 10 and gradually work your way up. All right, friends and family, here we are building a solid financial foundation. Here we make sure we are fully funded weekly, bi-weekly, and monthly. All right, friends and family, as the head of the money management team, I want to go over the 3 golden rules of managing money. Golden rule number 1, don't spend more than you earn. Golden rule number 2, always plan for the future. Golden rule number 3, help your money grow. And how we help our money grow is to invest money. Remember, the foundation to building wealth is to save money, and the money that you save, gradually you invest it, and that way you'll multiply your money, right? That's the name of the game. All right, we are in this game to win. We're not here to lose. All right, friends and family. So we are in week 31 of the challenge. So we are going to put $25 into our savings challenge binder. All right, friends and family. So once we put the $25, I'm going to mark it right now. We are week 31. We are going to have $496. All right, friends and family. We are gradually, every week, we continue to save, more money we're going to have. All right, friends and family. This is a good habit to practice. This is a good habit to practice, right? So that way you have money whenever an emergency happens or whenever a business opportunity comes along. All right, so week 31, $496 right there. 31. It's coming out blurry for some reason, but it's okay. All right, week 31, $496. All right, friends and family. So we are going to we got our $35 here, and we no longer need this. I went to the bank, and the money that I had, that I always save $25, that I always put in this envelope, I don't really have to do that anymore because I already make change. So I went to the bank yesterday and I got $100 in singles. I got $100 in fives. I got $100 in fives. And I got $200, which is 100 notes in twos, all right? So that way we're going to put it in our envelope. Every week I'm going to save $25 to add, to put in here, all right, friends and family? So we don't need to count. You know how every week I used to always count the $25 I put in here? I don't have to do that anymore, all right, friends and family? So we are going to always I'm going to always bring $25 and then add whatever change I have to make whatever the week is, right? So today is week 31. I have 25 here. I have $10 here. Week 31. $10 here. And let me see if I have a single from the last time. If I have a single, there it is. 31. And then next week I'll just put 32, which will be a $20 bill and a $10 bill and a $2 note. All right, friends and family, so that's how we're gonna do it. So we don't have to count. You know how I used to always count. You know, I think last week we had like $700 or $690 something. I'm not really sure how much we had, but we don't have to count that anymore, because the reason why I was always doing that was to always make change. I had changed earlier in the year because from last year's challenge, I still had $500 that I had for my vacation. So I ended up putting it here. But y'all never saw it. I had it in the background, in the back scene. So I don't have any more of that anymore. So what we're going to do, we're just going to continue to add 25 plus whatever I have in here. I added another $100 into the ATM to make change for 10. I put $100 in 20s to take out $100 in 10s, but I didn't have that ATM that I went to didn't have 10s. So next week I'll go to the other ATM that's gonna give me change of 10s, and I'll add it to this. All right, friends and family, and all of this happens because I always save $25 a week. Right, we save $25 a week. We are able to, sustain and be able to continue the challenge. Right. I don't want to go every, I don't know. I don't want to make the challenge difficult for me. That's the reason why, when it comes to my bills, I do it on a weekly basis. I save on a weekly basis. All my bills that's monthly, I add it all together and I divide it by 4. This week it's an extra good week because we have 5 weeks for the month of July. So that last week, which is this week, July 31st, is the 5th week of the month, is extra money for me that I choose to either save it or spend it. And usually I like to split it in half, spend a little and save a little. All right, friends and family, that's why I'm always excited when we have a 5-week month. All right, friends and family, so we have 20, 30, put this to the side, 31. Week 31, and we are going to put this in our binder. All right, week 31. Friends and family, I hope you're all having a wonderful day. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend this weekend. This weekend, me and my wife, we are going to east of New York. We are going to Montauk, New York. And Montauk, New York is in Long Island. And Montauk, New York is the last place east that you could go in New York State. East. All right, so we're going to go take Route 27, all the way to where you can't go no more in New York, all right, which is Montauk. All right, friends and family, so week 31, we put $31 here. We have $496, all right, friends and family. All right, so now we're going to, for the last month of the year, or for the last week of the month, we are going to make sure that we are fully funded. So water bill is fully funded, oil bill is fully funded, mortgage is fully funded, phone bill is fully funded, insurance is fully funded. Oil bill, I'm not, like I stress all the time, I don't get oil because the oil season, the winter season is over. Winter season ended for me, according to the company, ended in April. All right, so but I still continue to save on a monthly basis, on a weekly basis. I still continue to save oil bill for the next winter season. All right, friends and family, you always want to plan ahead. You always want to be ahead. You always want to have money ahead for whatever, right? So for my instance, the winter season, I always save money during the summer season, so that way I have money during the winter season. So whenever they take money out of my account, the money is already there. I don't have to work. I don't have to live check by check to pay the oil bill. All right, friends and family, that's how I do things. I like to prepay, my expenses. All right, friends and family. Like I said, thank you for tuning in. I appreciate each and every one of you. Friends and family, have a wonderful weekend. And God willing, we come back with week 32 of this challenge, all right? Peace and love.